Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Times Now's Decoding Now, and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, it is a tale of two Kashmirs. One land, one history, but two stark realities. A conflict that was born in 1947, a ceasefire line which was drawn in 1949. Kashmir was divided after war, with one part embracing India and the other forcibly occupied by Pakistan. Today, Kashmiriyat governs Jammu and Kashmir, but Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is run with an iron fist of Dehshatgardi by Vardi. It's not me, it is the Kashmiris in PoK who are saying that. In fact, on the eve of abrogation of Article 370 and the birth of Naya Kashmir, we will decode the fate of the two Kashmirs and ask, is the only future of PoK to get Azadi from Pakistan and to return to India? We'll sample this. We're going to break it down. Why we say it's a tale of two Kashmirs. The contrast on your screens is impossible to miss. On one side, there is terror. On the other, there is togetherness. These are the visuals from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Those setting motorcycles on fire are not arsonists, they are not rioters. They are the Pakistani police. Yes, that's right. Pakistani police can be seen in these visuals lighting fire to civilian bikes, torching the bikes of local protesters. This happened during an iron-fisted crackdown. But look on the other side of your screen. This signifies Kashmir's iconic Dal Lake. Instead of chaos, there is celebration there. Instead of fear, there is festivity. Kashmiris have gathered to joyfully welcome the winter session, Jashna, which has begun at Dal Lake. We'll get you more examples. Here's another contrast on your screen, striking contrast at that. Take a look at these visuals. On one side, you have PoK, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Pakistani Rangers are firing at civilians indiscriminately. They are running for cover and they are being hunted down by the Pakistani Rangers. Why? Because they dare to speak against the atrocities of the Vardi. Watch how people are scrambling for cover, desperately trying to save their lives, and the gunfire, the incessant gunfire continues. But on the other side, in Jammu and Kashmir, shift your gaze to the beautiful side of the line of control. Kashmiris are celebrating the Almond Blossom Festival. You can see the visuals there. Blooming pink blossoms, vibrant cultural performances, and smiles all around. These images tell a story of peace, of celebration, and of normalcy. That is the contrast. Well, back to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In the next set of visuals that you can see on your screens, what you are witnessing is a state-backed looting. Yes, that's right. Pakistani government-controlled police personnel can be seen taking ice cream and water bottles, stealing it from a local store. The police in Pakistan, who are supposed to be sheltering and fighting off thieves, are the ones who are looting stores in Pakistan. Look at the irony of it all. And if this isn't vandalism, what is? Now look on the other side of the screen. In Jammu and Kashmir, the focus is not on building. It is about a path towards peace. It is about construction. It is about building. It is not about destroying. The Indian government is investing heavily in infrastructure to improve connectivity in Jammu and Kashmir. What you see is the Zojela all-weather tunnel, a key project which is aimed at enhancing year-round access to the entire region so that Kashmir will never be cut off from Jammu. The next set of visuals, well, this tells a similar story. Once again, the contrast is very stark. On one side of your screen in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, these visuals allegedly show Pakistani Rangers holding a civilian at gunpoint. Look at them. Stare down a civilian who's crawling on the floor or the footpath. He's being held down by Pakistani Rangers. That's the plight of speaking up against the Pakistani establishment. Now look at the other side of the line of control. The picture here is marked differently. Record-breaking bridges, the state-of-art infrastructure and projects which are aimed at improving connectivity and development. The visuals speak for themselves. The story doesn't just end there. When India conducted elections in Jammu and Kashmir post-abrogation of Article 370, it's been 7 years now, it was hailed as a landmark democratic exercise because they felt it is the victory for Kashmiriyat. But in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the story is very different. On the first day of the assembly elections, there was large-scale protests which erupted across the entire region of PoK. The Joint Awami Action Committee, which is the JAAC, they were the activists who were fighting for the rights of the Kashmiris in PoK. They called for a complete boycott of the elections, saying that it is a sham and there is no representation of the Kashmiris in the seats which are going to be put onto polls. What did they do? Well, the protests were against the controversial arrangement of 12 assembly seats which were reserved for refugees from occupied Kashmir who live in the mainland of Pakistan. But those who were actually living in PoK, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, were not to be represented in 12 seats. That is why the JAC said it's time that we boycott these sham elections. Protesters marched. They argue that the system allows non-residents to influence this region's political future. That mainland of Pakistan is going to be deciding the fate of PoK in these elections and not the people of PoK themselves. Thousands of them, remember, marched on polling day to oppose the arrangement, to oppose the elections, to boycott it. But soon after that, what happened? The JAC was banned by the Pakistani authorities because they were simply scared. And several of its leaders, they were all arrested. The protests were followed by a security crackdown which happened with reports of deaths, of injuries, of widespread arrests as polling continued. Can polling actually be conducted in a free and fair manner when people in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir are being forced to stare down the barrel of the gun? Over 50 civilians were killed within days. These visuals from Bimber district show how a ballot box itself was set on fire. That is democracy, Pakistan's side. Apparently, that is how Pakistan celebrates democracy and elections, underscoring the turmoil that has marked the election process. Even ballot boxes are being put ablaze. That is democracy, Pakistan style. Meanwhile, India, the mother of democracy, has exposed the bluff behind the so-called polls in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Let's tell you what the Ministry of External Affairs has said. In fact, India has said that PoK polls are a cosmetic exercise, that Pakistan is hiding the occupation, the illegal occupation of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. There's a bid to camouflage the rights abuse which is happening of the Kashmiris who are there in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. India has also very sternly said that the protests are stemming from the oppression of the people of PoK, the Kashmiris in PoK, by the Pakistani establishment of Shehbaz Sharif and Asim Munir. Well, we've told you about Pakistan's Black Day narrative over the abrogation of Article 370. They call it a Black Day. But here in India, we are going to get you the numbers. The numbers are going to speak louder than the narrative which has been spun by Pakistan. We've also shown you the reality across the line of control. Now let's turn our focus to this side of the LOC. Through concrete numbers, we are going to break down how the Kashmirs have had two separate fates since independence. Jammu and Kashmir has transformed since the abrogation of Article 370. Just look at the numbers. First, you have the GSDP numbers. This is before abrogation and this is post-abrogation. GSDP of Jammu and Kashmir, of Naya Kashmir, was 1 lakh crore rupees in 2019. The state GDP actually went up to 2.62 lakh crore rupees, over double in these 7 years. The growth rate of the state of Kashmir went from 4.81% to over 11%. These numbers are there on your screens. You can look at it yourself. Then you have the tourism, which was earlier impacted by terrorism and it took a huge hit. That tourism has now increased to 2.36 crore as well. However, there are these incidents which keep coming up of terror after Pakistan proxies come into Kashmir, which is why there is a hit due to terror. But then look at the numbers, how they have been increasing, because the people in Kashmir have rejected and snubbed terror. You have investments. Earlier, pre-abrogation, it was 296 crores. Now it has gone up to 10,516 crores. The numbers there on your screens. This is the investment, the emotional, the monetary investment in Kashmir. But let's take you back to Pakistan. You saw how the civilians were living in fear under an oppressive regime, where people are being shot dead just for questioning the Vardi there. But the irony is that the exporter of terrorism is now being targeted by their own forces. That's right, snakes in their backyard, as has been called. Even terrorists, such is the fate of Pakistan, that even terrorists feel unsafe in Pakistan. Imagine terrorists themselves are scared in Pakistan. That's just one of the problems. Pakistani terrorists are actually blaming India, saying that we are scared that Indian agents are going to be killing us, and many of them have been killed. Can you believe it? Terrorism, which is the homegrown terrorism of Pakistan, where terrorists themselves live in fear in Pakistan. Look at the irony. Watch this. You just heard Rizwan. He is an LET commander. On camera, you could hear him say that our own people, our own terrorists are being killed by agents of India, unknown gunmen. Well, of course, that is the version of a terrorist. But one thing is clear, that snakes in their backyard have come back to bite Pakistan. In fact, in their own words, identified gunmen are the ones who are settling scores with terrorists. But let's tell you how these unidentified gunmen have indeed been targeting terrorists in Pakistan, who are amongst India's most wanted. Because it appears suddenly India's most wanted, the enemies of India, have been dropping like flies. Let's remind you, 1st of March, Zaroor Mistry, hijacker of Indian Airlines IC-814, killed, shot dead, eliminated. 6th of May 2026, Paramjeet Singh Panjwar is the chief of Khalistan Commando Force. He too was mysteriously killed. In 2023, you had Abu Qasim. He plotted the Dhangiri terror attack. He too was killed by unidentified gunmen. In 2023 October, Shahid Latif, the mastermind of the Pathankot attack, he too was eliminated, killed. Similar fate was for Abu Qatal. He was the mastermind of the Riyasi pilgrim bus attack which had happened. He too has been eliminated. India's enemies are dropping like flies, and this is the reality. This is the reality, an unfortunate reality for those Kashmiris who are stuck in Pakistan's illegal occupied Kashmir. This is the fate that they are being forced to live with. Let me go across to our panelists. Joining us today on the show, we have Sushil Pandit. He's an activist, a Kashmiri activist, fights for the rights. He has been doing it for many, many decades now. Everything's not perfect, but people like him still persevere. Major Nadeem is joining us, a retired Pakistani army man who is a Pakistani defense analyst as well. Major Nadeem, I'm going to come to you. Look at the fate of PoK right now. आपसे संभल तो नहीं रहा, आप दे दीजिए इंडिया को. At least they will have a chance at peace and prosperity.
You are so good in defense, in fighting, and in GDP, nominal GDP, and so many things which you were showing here. So why don't you get it yourself? if you are so good, having a very good army and military, why can't you get a single inch of Pakistan? Why don't you come and get? You know the unrest is there. The people are some of the people are protesting. This
Some
is the
people,
best chance for you.
thousands have marched against your army. People have boycotted your elections. Now you're going to say Shehbaz Sharif is winning, his party is winning in POK when people have boycotted it. That's your idea of democracy.
Yes.
Yes.
70-80% votes have been casted. You go and check yourself, right? The international media as an observer are there and they are observing these things.
You killed over 100 people.
There are 10 districts in AJK, Azad Jammu Kashmir, which you call POK, right? And
Azadi to मांग रहे हैं, अब तक मिली नहीं है उनको. They're asking for Azadi. Maybe you should listen it.
Why don't you come and help them liberate, right? Why don't you come, Batika? You can only do, you only did in Bangladesh, where you were covering for the 5,000 kilometers of border.
You want to talk about Bangladesh? That is a blot on your army's history, where you surrendered. A shameful surrender by the Pakistani army. You really want to talk about Bangladesh? Are you trying to defend your country or remind people what a failure Pakistan has been?
This is what I'm saying. This is not the army, a brave army, right?
आपकी army ने surrender किया था. Please read up your history.
You can only do ambushes, right? You
were part of the Pakistani army. You guys surrendered. You left your own men behind. In Bangladesh, surrendered, all of them. Threw their arms down.
It was not a surrender. It was a geographical limitation. It was a geographical surrender. It was a political surrender. Every child knows it. It was a geographical and
you should surrender POK also.
Now, that's this
Here's an idea. Surrender POK. आपसे नहीं संभल रहा.
Okay, why don't you enter? Get
POK.
This is the idea time. You will not get this.
But you admitted that you have failed in POK. You admit that ये जो दहशत गर्दी है इसके पीछे वर्दी है. These are the chants in POK. Do you agree?
This is our confidence. We know. Yeah, we
confidence
know
in what?
Not even take an inch of AJK, despite there is unrest there, despite riots there, though it is only in one district, Pulwama, Poonch district, right? Out of 10 districts, there is only one district, and there is only one district, that is Rawalakot. The unrest.
You're not even a Kashmiri. Please, for once, speak to someone who is a Kashmiri. Sushil Pandit ji, I know you are laughing. It is such a serious matter, for the kind of things which Major Nadeem Saab is saying, it is making anyone laugh. Anyone who's sitting and listening in POK will actually sit down, either cry or you laugh. Those are the two options. Sushil Pandit.
Thank you, Meghna, for having me on the show. And good evening, Major Nadeem. You were talking about Bangladesh and you were saying only geography was a factor. Please read Hamudur Rahman report, which your own country had initiated to investigate the reasons for the fall of Dhaka and East Pakistan. And you will never again blame it on just geography. Number one. Number two, you mentioned that international media is covering the elections in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which you erroneously called Azad Kashmir. I mean, it is an irony. Let me tell you, Al Jazeera covered these elections.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you. This broadcast, some big breaking news which is coming in. Visuals coming in of Udayanithi Stalin, who has been taken to the Sengapatti police station. There's high drama outside the police station. As you can see, there are what appears to be hundreds of DMK cadres who are standing right outside the Sengapatti police station. And you can see how with flags of DMK there, the red and black flags of DMK being raised in the sky, you have massive deployment of security as well. Udayanithi arrest drama is only now escalating with every minute. Let me go across to Dharani, who's joining us. Dharani, these exclusive, I beg your pardon, Imran is joining us. Imran, visuals coming in exclusively on Times Now shows what is happening with Udayanithi being taken there. You're speaking to some of the people there. What are they saying? What do they want?
Well, absolutely. In fact, this is the third change of the police station to happen. Earlier, they were planning to take him to the Thanjavur's East police station. Then, because of the heavy presence of DMK, TVK cadres, they changed it to Thanjavur South. And from there, they brought it to Sangipatti police station because they were not able to enter the Thanjavur town. You can see behind me, there's a police station there. And a heavy presence of the DMK cadres is there. Police is also there. They're trying to prevent this DMK cadres. The cops are pushing now to the DMK cadres who are trying to enter the police station. सर क्या डिमांड कर रहे हैं आप क्या चाहते हैं
हम लोग क्या करते हैं இது வந்து என்னன்னா தாவேக அரசின் பொய்யான வழக்கு இது தேவையற்ற ஒரு வழக்கு அவர் எதிர்க்கட்சி தலைவர் அவருக்கு சம்மன் கொடுத்தா நேரடி ஆஜராக சொன்னா அவர் ஆஜராக இருப்பார் ஒரு நேற்று காவேரி பிரச்சனைக்காக டெல்டா பகுதி மக்களுக்காக போராட்டம் நடத்துறது கண்டன ஆர்ப்பாட்டம் நடத்தும் போது
केस के बारे में क्या बोलना है
केस के बारे में झूठा केस है इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है இந்த வழக்கு ஒரு பொய்யான முற்றிலும் பொய்யான வழக்கு இது ஒரு எப்படி சொல்றது ஒரு நடிகைக்காக ஒரு முதல்வர் முதல்வர் வந்து தவறான நடவடிக்கை இது
So what he's saying is that the case which was registered is a fictitious case because the government is trying to hide the inefficiency of the Kaveri water issue. They are trying to divert the issue by filing a false case against Stalin. You can see here that the DMK cadres are trying to get inside the police station. The cops are having a hard time blocking them. Right at the entrance is the gate. From there, just 100 meters is the police station there. There's also a temple inside. And you can see earlier, Stalin was trying to not to go to this police station. In fact, he didn't get down earlier from the van. He was brought in because he said that this is Thanjavur police station where the case was registered. He should be taken there itself. However, because of the security law and order issue, the third police station has been brought in. As you can see, DMK cadres are trying to get inside the police station. The police are blocking them at the gate. They're having a hard time to control the crowd here. Earlier they were trying to take in Thanjavur East, then it was changed to Thanjavur South. Now they brought it to Sangipatti. This is the rural part of Trichy and Thanjavur districts. And you can see here, even within this short while, the huge DMK cadres have gathered here, trying to give support to the leader, and also trying to show their muscle through inside the police station. And these are the latest visuals from there, which we are bringing for our viewers here. Megha.
Well, can you tell us where exactly is Udayanithi right now? Is he in the convoy? Has he been taken inside? Is he still in the car?
No, it's inside the police station. It's what we see. You can see the van there and the visuals. We also see the visuals there where Stalin has been taken inside and where the DMK cadres are trying to be just pushing away in to get to the latest visuals of it. And we see that cops are there trying to control the crowd there. See the DMK visuals of the party workers.
Right.
And we are taking visuals inside.
Well, keep tracking the developments. These are exclusive visuals that you can see only on Times Now. Imran is right outside the police station. And right now, even as we speak, Junior Stalin has been taken inside. What next? Minute by minute updates only here on Times Now. Without a short break, stay tuned.